Trollord Games. Join the fray.
And here we are for Asking Me Anything and the empty chair. There's Davis and the empty chair. But yeah, it's, what is it? December 7th. Oh yeah, today is Pearl Harbor Day. Look at that. How's it going, Kai Brightwing, Dolgrim, Matt Barnager? I don't know why I said that twice, I just did. Davis is going to be joining us here in a minute. He wandered off. I was just talking to him, and then he wandered off. So I don't know when he will be back, but he will be here at some point. Chuck and Tim, if you guys are out there, I only managed to wrangle Davis in... how's it going, Grindle? I only managed to wrangle Davis in the last 5 minutes. If you guys could throw it up on the social media, including my Twitter and my Facebook, that would be appreciated. And we will assume that... What the hell? What's going on here? Man, I can't... This stuff in reverse is freaking me out. And I will assume that Davis will return, Coke in hand, soon. How's it going, Lando? And we're doing a little different time slot today. We're doing 4:30 to 5:30 to see if we can't carry on and to interrupt people's dinner, make it tough for everybody to sit down and have a meal with their family. That's kind of the approach tonight. But there you go. And I've got no water. Yesterday was a big day for us. We released the 8th printing of the Player's Handbook. Too much fanfare. It did extremely well. We were very happy with it. A lot of people jumped on board to grab it. Of course, the Kickstarter, everybody who backed the Kickstarter, your Player's Handbook's are en route, so they should be landing very, very soon. How's it going, Kador? I eat at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, so you're fine. There you go. So we're good. we're golden on that. How's it going, Johnny Nomad? I really don't know where Davis went. He said, I'm going to go get a Coke, right as I said we're going live, and then he left. So I'm going to assume that he will return. How's it going, Ultra Magnus? Yeah, so we're here just to gather. We gathered yesterday, of course, for an hour, and then did a Reddit AMA, and we're back today just to jibber jabber. How long are the discounted bundles going to be online? Will the GM screen be added to any of them? So a lot of those bundles are permanent. They just stay that way. If you buy everything together, you're going to get the bundle. And Davis has joined us. And the GM screens should be joining us on Wednesday, Thursday of next week, we hope. And then we'll add that to the Big Castles and Crusades bundle as soon as it lands. Davis?
Okay, I'm watching the over there.
So what is it? You got...
I'll be watching here.
You got, I guess you've got nothing on when you're facing the camera. Can you put the browser on the monitor where the camera is? Do you know what I'm talking? or the camera on the monitor where the browser is, and then you can see the whole thing. How's it going, Cynican? Hey, Sparky, what's up? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just moving my computer around.
Okay, I got you. I think I know what you're doing. That's right. You don't have dual monitors. That's right. You've got 2 computers. I remember now. All right, good deal.
Yeah, we couldn't afford 2 monitors.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, Davis has some camera sorcery going on.
Holy crap.
What are you doing? Well, at least you're eating well.
Okay, it's time to lose some weight.
Yeah, so that I want that jacket that you're wearing. If you die, remind everyone I get it. And then I need to know where you got it.
What?
The jacket that you're wearing, it's fucking warm. I wore it the other day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can have it.
Where'd you get that?
1984.
Good God.
It's Woolrich. If you buy anything ever in America, buy it from Woolrich.
All right. That thing is, I wore it the other day when it's so cold up there and the wind was blowing. You couldn't feel the wind for nothing. So Davis is Don Quixote. Hey, so someone said, so Davis is Don Quixote, and that makes me Pancho. There you go. The hat is everything. Remembered, yeah, he did remember his pants, so we consider that a blessing. Yeah, I did call him.
Wait a second. Are there like little words coming up somewhere?
Okay, so if you look at, it should be on the screen in front of you. You see the chat there. Do you see me and you? Do you see me and you?
I see me and you. That's it.
You don't see a chat next to you? No, not like on the other table on the monitor.
Oh wait. There, I see it now. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So you'll see where everybody's posted.
We're good.
All right, so you're with us. Explain as you would to a child. Yeah, Davis and I both are kind of computer illiterate, so it takes a lot of hand-holding. Davis's mic feed isn't coming through very well. Yeah, we're working on that. Did you ever order the mic? I can't remember.
No.
Okay, we need to take care of that. I'll get with Chuck and get you a mic. I thought we had taken care of that. Hey, speaking of which, do you remember when we were fixing the trailer tires?
Yeah.
I may have put the TLG corporate credit card on the side of that trailer. So when you're wandering around tomorrow, can you look in the grass over there? See if it's... I don't know where the card is. I know I had it up there, and when Dakota and I were going to go to town to get new tires for it, I might have put it on the side of the trailer.
Where, what color is it?
It's black.
I don't know.
It's black. It's a Marriott card.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
I'm also looking for right now.
Yeah, you're never going to find it.
Yeah, I'll look for it tomorrow.
All right, yeah, probably made it halfway down the lane and then fell in the dirt somewhere. If it's up, God knows where the thing is. Let's see. When you ask me anything we didn't think you meant Davis, ask me how to use the box on my desk. Well, you know, it's a troll lord world. How's it going, Retro? A road trip to the yard. Yep, I work as TLG on site tech support. I can be paid in tacos and Dr. Pepper. Sounds pretty good, actually. That's what I found. Time for a buying spree. How's it going, Spam Viking? He might have to select the right microphone in the settings of what. So they say your mic isn't working really well.
There's a shocker.
Yeah, I think honestly we could spend 30 minutes trying to fix Davis's mic, and then the thing would be over. We're gonna order him one. I'll get with Chuck after the stream. We'll order him a high speed. What do I got here? The blue thing with a stand. So we can bring you up to speed.
It's weird because the mic always works when I call you.
I can hear you just fine. I have absolutely zero problem hearing you. So I'm not sure what is going on, but I'm sure we're messing something up. Of that I have
I
looked.
can't figure it out.
Yeah, of that I have. And we don't need to spend half an hour going through settings and downloads and all that other shit. That gets exhausting. But anyway, so here we are. I am Stephen Chenault. For those of you just joining us, CEO of Troll Lord Games. This is my brother Davis Chenault, co-founder of the company and co-creator with Mac Golden, who has joined us, I see in the stream, of the Siege Engine, Castles and Crusades, and all of the wonderful mess that's come with that. And we're here to do any kind of questions you have about Troll Lord Kickstarters, Aliens, the Roswell crash. Mac and I are planning on a road trip to the Twin Peaks Cafe up in Washington State. So whatever questions you have for us, throw in the stream, and we'll do our best to answer them if we can.
Twin Peaks? Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I never watched Twin Peaks. I missed it when it came out. I didn't have a TV when it came out. And Mac is a gigantic fan of it. Of course, Mac and I have known each other for 1,000 years. But I never watched it. And Kat and I were bored the other day. We watched Twin Peaks. It's really fucking good. That Agent Cooper is one of the best characters I've seen on screen ever. No matter what you think of the show.
I never watched.
You should watch it. The first season's better than the second. Second's great, but the first season's really, really good. It's 6 episodes. I think it's on Netflix or Hulu or something. You should just watch minimally those 6 episodes. And that Agent Cooper is one of the coolest characters. He's an FBI agent who wants to cooperate with the locals. He's very friendly. He likes pie and coffee. He's got some great affectations to him. It's just Really cool. My biggest disappointment in Twin Peaks is they didn't do a Scully and Mulder crossover. That would have just been awesome. Now we haven't. Oh yeah, we got a lot of questions.
Class and why?
All right, I'll let you begin because I'm getting a Dr. Pepper.
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite class, really. I think probably one of the ones in the Oathsworn in the
Adventurer's Backpack.
Adventurer's Backpack is probably going to be my next. I really like the Oathsworn. It's it's the Oathsworn. This is going to be my go-to class from now on. It's
Nice.
in the Adventurer's Backpack. And this is it. I'm going to read the little snippet for it. Oathsworn are creatures. That's me. Born of the eternal struggle between law and chaos, good and evil. Some are born into ignorance of the never-ending battle. That wasn't me. That wages around them. Others are acutely aware of it and thrive upon it. Yeehaw! That's my class. That's my go-to class now.
I think that's what Pete is playing. And
not even like, I don't even, because I could never remember this stuff off the top of my head, like all the stats and stuff. But I just like the ambiance of the class, the Law and Order class.
Yeah.
Because it just fits me.
it's got purpose and direction.
We need a class purpose.
Do what?
We need a class that's like all just like complete chaos.
Well, we've created a lot of chaos stuff in the Rune Lore stuff. That's going to be pretty cool. And you and I are fixing to dive into that with the Plains books coming in the next few months as we weed through all that shit. So my favorite class is, without a doubt, the Fighter. I absolutely love the Fighter. That extra bonus one it gets at first level can kill stuff. And I love killing things. I don't like to think about stuff. So that's why most of my characters die.
I think it's the simplest class to play.
It really is.
That's the biggest thing. This is a funny question. What is the best class and why is it the War Priest?
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny because it developed. I played Cleric Braylick in the last campaign. He was sort of like, he was the naked wandering cleric. It was a really fun cleric to play. A hermit. And it was a really good, actually it was a really good long arc for that character. But my irritation with playing the cleric reached an astonishing point because the cleric isn't built to fight.
No.
I don't like just being a kill bot. So remember, what level was it that I refused to heal anybody?
You did.
I think 5th level.
Well, you sewed your mouth shut for the first 2 levels, so you couldn't cast any of your spells. That was you were 3rd level till you would use any magic whatsoever, which caused great irritation to Mark mostly, to Todd also, because you were supposed to heal and you. It's really funny. I loved it. I love that type of shit. Eat to Surf, I think it's showing on Hulu.
The irritation was it's not a fighting class, and it needs to have like a warrior element to it, or at least that thing to it. So that's what the Warrior Priest was developed down of.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The level of irritation that I had.
The Warrior Priest, and then there's another one in the Adventurer's Backpack, the Scald, I think. Maybe not the Scald. There's another one in there. Primal Druid, maybe I'm thinking of. That's taking. Of course, everything we do takes a tone of violence to it, which is probably not the best thing.
Well, there was the whole thing about the Druid, right? And so our rewrite on the Druid.
You're going to get that confused. So the Druid kind of stayed the same in the Player's Handbook, but Mark wrote the Primal Druid for Codex of Eret, and we put... Yes.
That's the one... Now, let me... Yeah, I can't hear you anymore.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Primal Druid is the one where... Go ahead.
No, the Primal Druid is the one where they're protecting man against nature, right?
Yes, that's the one. That's the purpose of the class.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
that's it. Yeah,
just brilliant. So just to let everyone know, Davis is on a conventional internet hookup. They have fiber optics coming his way. I've seen the line. It's almost to his house. So hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, he will actually be on fiber optics, and you're cutting out a little bit, Davis. So it's probably the time of day.
Okay. When Kent says traditional, what he means is it's a phone line. Okay? It's a copper freaking wire that connects you to the internet.
All right, so we've got a few more questions. Eat to Surf, it's showing on Hulu, I believe. I believe that's where we watched it. And he's talking about Twin Peaks. Let's see, and then Arthur, I can't say all of that. The Cleric, Atharnan, the Cleric, what do you feel was the best change or update to the new PHB? What was the one little thing you thought, how did we miss that the first 7 times? So I'm going to go with the art. I love the art that Peter and Zoe did for the Player's Handbook. All the pictures are fantastic, and we did female and male, of course. So the art just through the roof. And the layout, too. Peter did an insane job on the layout, so I'm super happy with that. And the thing that we missed and Chuck Babunski here actually pointed it out just before we went to press, and I had to wedge it in there, was the liquid damage stuff that had only appeared on one set of screens that we put out in like 2006. It wasn't in the PH, it wasn't in the CKG, it wasn't anywhere. And Chuck pointed that out, so I shoehorned it in. It wasn't even in print anymore. It wasn't even on the new screens. So I shoehorned it in on some page. So that's what I'm most happy about. Have you had a chance, Davis? I know you got some up there. Have you had a chance to look at the new Player's Handbook? I know you've been busier than shit, but
Nah.
Okay.
I'll flip through it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've read the Player's Handbook since like the first printing. Really, actually read it through. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, why would I?
No, there's no reason.
I don't really need it. I don't use the rules anyway. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, when we were gaming over Thanksgiving, so Davis ran the whole family a game over Thanksgiving, and Wilson's had something about the siege engine. I said, I don't worry about it. Wilson, he can't remember how to use it anyway, so it'll be fine. Just roll with whatever's going on. And then we all died.
Well, for the longest time, I didn't bring dice to the table.
Yeah, that was
I would just grab a book and flip through the page, and the first 2 numbers were my dice roll.
That was the best, because eventually I asked you, because you were missing for like 5 or 6 games in a row, and I said, dude, why are you missing so much? And you said, because I'm making these numbers up. And I said, well, just make up some high ones occasionally. It was really funny. All right. Let's see, another question. So I say I know someone who is a vampire, and in theory his name is Mood Wild JW. Where's a good place to find his coffin? I don't know, but you should put him in it and do the whole steak routine. Now that's interesting, though, Elserv, because Davis and I have been talking about, we're going to do a book called Monsters and Legends, which is going to be a bookend to a series, a Mythos series that we've got, and Davis just finished, and we just released Gods and Legends. But in Monsters and Legends, we're going to take these iconic monsters like Medusa and Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, whatever, and make them into very, very powerful high-level encounters, as opposed to what they are now, which is really kind of mid-level, maybe 10th, 12th level. You could cut through a vampire at 8th level. Four characters cut through a vampire at 8th level pretty quick. So we got that coming online. Let's see. Hold on.
So here was an interesting thing. I was reading some of Bram Stoker's stuff, and here was an interesting thing I discovered about vampires, or at least his rendition of Dracula, at least, and vampires as a whole. That there were more than one vampire, so there are other vampires.
Oh, interesting.
Elsewhere. But they have to sleep not just in a coffin, but the dirt in which they were buried, or the coffin was buried. The dirt is what gives them life, and it has to be the dirt from where they were buried, which is why when he had his coffin put on the ship, it was put in a huge crate with dirt.
You're talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula the movie?
Not the book.
Oh, in the book. I haven't read the book in forever and a day. Oh, no, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. That's very cool. Yeah, that's the stuff we need to bring online with these monsters.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing that I discovered. And Medusa had two sisters.
Yeah, all of that needs to be brought to fore so that the CK, when they're running the gym, when they're running the game, it can be a high-level encounter as it was originally designed to be. Let's see, we got, is it better than watching Breaking Bad for the 6th time? Yes. So go give Twin Peaks a run. See how you enjoy that. How's it going, Enoch? Josephus, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. David Lindsay, some Twin Peaks. Comment, what is the best class and why is it the War Priest? Oh, that tells how you really feel about gnomes. So we got some gnome questions going on here. Will there be a Twin Peaks RPG? I'm afraid not. You should look up the Arkansas Airship Mystery of 1897. I'll do it. I'm into the alien stuff right now. Is it easier to fudge the rules as a CK when you're one that made them? Yes.
I don't even use them.
Well, the Siege Engine is so easy to use.
I mean, it's off the top of my head at this point. I don't know if I use the rules or not. I just do it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know you used them. We were making siege checks constantly. Not siege checks. We were making attribute checks constantly. But it's really just how you drop CL on there, and you roll with it. It's so once you've done it for about 5 to 6 games, it's so second nature. It's weird that you never did it before. Dwarf fighter using a 2-handed axe. I have it on a good authority. They are very nice. Wait a minute. Who is that? Is that Dakota? That might be Dakota. Speaking of a cleric as an awesome class, what is the best deity to choose in terms of granted abilities? Oh, go ahead. You didn't actually write that section.
The granted abilities?
Right.
For the deity?
You're right. Did you?
Yeah.
You did for your deities. Todd did them for the mythos. That's right. You did the humanoid and demi-human deities, but Todd went back in and the Norse, the Celtic, the Slavic, from Brian Young's Mythos series. Todd did all the granted abilities for this.
Right. Yeah. When I did the Gods book.
Gods and Legends.
But someone may have come back in and edited them. I think I can't remember because I remember off the top of my head getting a message saying these are ridiculously overpowered. You need to power them down.
Was that from me?
I have no idea.
Probably from me. Yeah, I'm not sure. So which god would you pick out of your gods as gives the best granted abilities?
Dude, I have no idea.
It's been too long. It's been a year since you wrote that stuff.
Yeah. I just find the one that gives me a +1 to hit.
I think of all of them, those kobold deities are badass. Those kobold deities are just cool.
Yeah.
They're just, the art is great. The stories, the legends behind the gnome deities were cool. We did a smidgen revision on that towards the end as we're trying to rehabilitate the gnome's reputation. Let's see. Question. On the map of Arid between... How's it going, King Kothar?
Look, my brother Kent, he wants to turn the gnomes into these super elite, like special forces, ninja fighter dudes that appear throughout the world and dragons cower at their sight. So, but really, they're just little fat, pudgy guys.
I didn't say it was going to be an easy rehabilitation.
So we're working our way through that.
Yeah, with the red hats. Let's see. Question. On the map of Arid between the country of Anglame, city of Alice, and the country Aachen, city of Cam, there's a black line between them. What is it? So that is the bridge. That is the Ursel Bridge. At one time, the dwarves had built this ancient bridge across the Sea of Chenault, and it is now it's ruined, of course. That was about 2,000-3,000 years ago, and the only thing you have left are pillars of these gigantic footprints. I can't remember what is that part of the bridge that holds up the span. But they're monstrous, and on top of those, there's villages and port facilities and stuff like that. So people have kind of settled on these span supports. I'm not sure what those things are called. I can't remember. But that is the Ursel Bridge. Do what?
They're building parts.
The buildy parts. And we're actually running it on the Sunday game. One of the players has created their Wizard's Tower on one of those supports. Because the spans, of course, are all gone. So it offers just a ton of adventure. It's just more places to adventure in there. Here's my question. In Monsters and Treasures, it says that all monsters have a base SR of 1. It never played it like this. Why is this a rule? So that was quite a debate after the first printing of the Monsters, or second printing of the Monsters and Treasures. And I can't do the mechanics of it. King Kothar, I'm no good at it. And Mac, if he wasn't driving, could probably answer this question. But because it had something to do with the dice rolls. If you roll an SR and you roll a 1, then you automatically get a check. So if a monster has an SR, let's see if I can do this. If Dave is sitting right there had an SR of 1, then it really is meaningless, because when you roll a d20, you're going to get a 1, because you don't add anything to the check. So any monster with an SR of 1 really doesn't have an SR. So we shifted it so everything has an SR of 1, because everything can be affected by magic. But if you want a monster to have a resistance to magic, you start at SR 2. So you start, your SR would add. So if it's an SR 1 on the monster, it would add to the base SR of 1, and it would have an SR of 2, if that makes sense. I know it in my head,
Yeah.
but does that make sense? Did I explain that well enough?
No.
Yeah. I know I got the elements of it in there. But because there's no bonus to the check, any creature with an SR1 has no SR at all, essentially, because you can't roll a 0 on a d20.
Right, yeah, because even a first level magic user, or let's just say X magic user would cast X spell and X first level.
But none of that would have anything to do with it.
No,
An SR1, it always gets hit. It always gets hit.
Oh, right. Never mind.
If it has an SR1, it always gets hit by the magic. So what we did was you have a base of SR1.
What about a saving throw?
Well, you don't get that with SR. The SR is just if the wizard can overcome their magic resistance. So if you have a base SR1, then if your monster has an SR1, theirs is actually 2, because you add the 1 to the base and they would have an SR of 2. So either you had to go back through and have no SR1s on anything, or we just did it with the base, and it didn't. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. The new PHBs book looks great. Got my PDF yesterday. Lots of physical books coming in. Going to do a deep dive into Arid. Excellent. Yeah, Tim and I had a long conversation about Arid. We're fixing, now that all of this stuff is kind of behind us, we still have to get the NPC Almanac to print, which should happen in the next day or so. Peter's finished dividing the book up into 2 volumes. We've got the quotes in. Everything's good. So we'll get those to print hopefully by tomorrow, and then we're on to new things, and one of those things is Arid. Fiber optics, what's that? Yeah, no kidding. I remember 300 to 1200 baud modems when I started BBS back in the 1990s. Then we upgraded as a new model speed came out. Yeah, that's probably what Davis is on. God knows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, it's like dial-up sometimes.
That's crazy. Let's see. Liquid damage. Who throws flaming oil anime? Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm guessing you did recently. Let's see. I make a GM binder for whatever system I'm using, and whatever I need that isn't on the screen, I make myself for the binder. Oh, there you go. Any chance of getting high resolution PDFs of the Arid Codex locations? I noticed some of the Codex PDFs have high Yeah, that's something, Sparky. We're looking at an overhaul of the entire PDF line. It's really a time issue with us. Tim and I talk about that frequently. It's coming up with a solution to do it. I noticed a book we've been putting out for a while. One of the maps is at such horrible resolution it should never have made it into print. So it's going to take we're going to have to take the time and start going through each of the products and figuring out where we are on this, digital and whatnot. So yes, that is coming. Do what, Davis?
I'm still trying to create water in my enemy's lungs and drown them.
Yeah, Wilson's trying to use that create water spell constantly. Let's see. I think I'm way behind.
Damaging that could be. You create water in someone's lungs so they're dead. There's no survival.
Oh yeah, it would hurt. I think there's a drown rune in there somewhere. Wilson yelled from the other room. He's listening to the stream. He's been trying to use Create Water every Sunday to do something.
There's so much stuff. There's really, literally so much stuff you can do. If you could throw a gallon of water somewhere, I mean, just.
Well, that's the thing. I think if you read the spell, it has to be a container. I don't think you can just put it inside.
The lungs contain air.
Well, I'll tell you what, Davis. When you DM next or CK next, you can run Wilson's cleric, and you find out how entertaining these kids are trying to figure out how to use these spells more creatively. So.
Like, what did you remember when, like, continual flame?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, and when I can't remember the original write-up, continual flame was that you could create one a day or something like that.
Something like that.
But there was no limitation.
Right.
So you could create one. It was 1 to 3 or something per level. It just was.
Well, it's a spell. It's like a second level spell. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like just walking around creating continual flame. And I thought I take 6 months off, and all I do is wander through the woods creating continual flame everywhere.
You wouldn't make it 3 days because something would be drawn to your continual flame and devour your cleric. But conceivably, you could. You could light, yeah, 20 clerics could hang out in a city and turn it into Vegas. The never ending.
I think now you can only have 3 continual flames burning at one time, I think.
Let's see. So we got some more questions here. First off, what do we got? Bela Lugosi movie is only ships like 3 boxes of dirt. In the book, he ships like 50 boxes of dirt. So a little bit of the movie deviates some. That explains why this particular vampire doesn't leave California. Yeah, there you go. Green Lantern says happy birthday. Omut is shouting bearded axe, which is a great weapon. And then we got a question. Is it possible to thrive without a divine spellcaster in the party? Yeah, absolutely. We do it all the time. Davis, so we started a game in 2006. And we're still playing it now. Davis, about 4 years ago, you had to drop out, and you were the cleric, and that was at about 8th level, I think, and they're 12th level now and still cooking along. Now, it does take Jung Flexbar. It does take a little bit of shenanigans on the GMing part, because you kind of got to, what I ended up doing is creating multiple ways that the party could heal itself. I created these magical rocks that they carry, and they kind of flake off in the sun, and they can eat the flakes and heal 1 to 2 hit points of damage. Created tattoos that give you healing ability. I just did all kinds of stuff to kind of cover the healing that the divine. And we actually were doing that before Davis even left, because Davis didn't heal very much. But yeah, you can definitely do it. You just got to get a little bit creative with the healing and whatnot, and then it just becomes, it's kind of it's just you just minus a spellcaster. But Davis and I played this.
Mark got so mad at me one time because I was forcing everyone to type my church.
Yes, I remember that. And then he was going to make you start paying when he fought in battle to protect you. It became a whole thing. It was quite interesting. But yeah, you can definitely do it. You just got to get a little bit creative, I think, with the GMing. It does, as Josephus says there, it does make things a little bit easier if you've got a cleric that can just roll the healing out and heal quickly. But it is possible to do without it. All right, next question. In the Tome of the Unclean, great book, by the way. Thank you for that. There are a few references to demons, devils in it, but those entities are not listed in the book. Is there plans for a second tome? Yeah, and yes, there is an expanded one, and some of those are probably in Alfstrag, would be my guess. The demons and devils first appeared in Monsters and Treasures of Erd, and then we put them in their own book. And then it came out even as we were doing the first levels in Alfstrag, and more demons and devils were created. So some made it and some didn't. So that would be my guess. Shinkai, that would be my guess is what you're referencing or seeing there. But yeah, we definitely intend to redo it. I'd like to see that book full color and out. Is that you, Davis, or is that me? I don't know, whatever. All right, Davis, have you ever written any adventures for a setting other than fantasy? If so, what would be your favorite? Davis? We lost.
Yeah.
There you are. Did you hear the question?
No.
All right, so the question is, Davis, have you ever written any adventures for a setting other than fantasy? If so, what would be your favorite?
I have not yet. I haven't really played out, but I actually haven't written it because it's never really come up. I mean,
Yeah.
but I have an adventure set in a far-flung. It's weird to describe the setting. Anyway, it's a far-flung science fiction magic mashup, which is sort of cool, but I'm not sure it would be really popular. The other one I would really like to do one in a setting with a mixture of like a Cowboy Bebop, The Expanse, and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Without magic, though. But maybe, that's sort of cool. That's a cool idea, though. I'm just sitting here thinking, too, because of that magical realism, like the Central America and South America authors, or authors from that area were famous for, like Water for Chocolate, 100 Years of Solitude. Doing some magical realism in a book would be really, really or an adventure would be really freaking awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Throw it in sort of far future landscape.
That would be pretty cool. You need to do something like that and tie it to the crash of in Roswell at 47.
No, I haven't. Remember my theory about like
Which one? Which one? I've had about 8 today.
It's a theory that all that stuff that we're seeing is like 5th and 6th dimension stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So, that would be awesome. That's what magic is. It's 5th and 6th dimension crap that people are like being able to.
There you go. That's actually perfect, and that would actually fit perfect with the plane crap that we're doing this coming year. Now you got to write dimensional stuff. Sure. All right, so. All right, create water spell specifically says that you can't create inside another creature. So there's that. That puts that to bed.
As a result of me trying to constantly.
Yeah, probably so. There needs to be an alchemist class who can change water to Dr. Pepper. That would be absolutely wonderful. In order to put the water in someone's lungs, have a CL of plus 16 to the spell check. There you go. King Kothar has solved that riddle. Just make the CL impossible. Question, 2nd edition D&D monsters are compared to the CNC system, or do they need some changes? So I didn't play 2nd edition. I don't think you did either, Davis. I skipped it and just stuck with AD&D. I literally played 2nd edition once, so I couldn't speak to that. But I can't imagine them being difficult to convert. I mean, everything is pretty standard in Castles and Crusades, so bringing stuff over from almost any system wouldn't be hard. I think probably your ascending and descending armor classes would be the biggest challenge.
Did 2nd edition have Thaco?
Yeah, so it did Thaco, so I don't even know if it did the descending. I never looked at it. I literally played it.
Just -2 on the Thaco and it might work. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something. But I can't imagine it being hard to convert over. I just can't. I mean, it's going to have most of your baseline stuff to it. And the siege engine is built around the hit dice of the monster, so the siege engine just works forward however you land the hit dice, and then the siege engine works no matter what. So then it just becomes the abilities of the monsters to actually do it. All right, Mastro Joe asks, question for Davis, hoping it has not been done yet. Has he ever played the old Mystera known world setting?
Mystera, no.
I may not be pronouncing. You used to have so many RPG stuff, so much RPG stuff. I have most of it now, but that does not sound familiar. You may have to look that up.
No, yeah, well, look up real quick because I just saw a Mystera book, but I don't know if it was actually a book.
So Mac is on the road at the moment, but he has jumped in and said yes. 2nd edition monsters are compatible with CNC. And so there you go. Matt co-created the Siege Engine, the Castles and Crusades, so he's got his thumb on that. Yeah, like I said, all of the monsters from D&D, whatever version, except maybe 4th, but again, I never looked at 4th, should convert relatively easily. I mean, CNC's real, it's real, the wheels lie in the Siege Engine, and it's so, it carries to any system that you're playing. It's literally, you just need attributes and bonuses and you're good. I've looked over CNC and I can convert over BF RPG modules pretty easy. That sounds about right, Pat. The Player's Handbook came out in December of 2004, 2005. I can't remember now. But the Monster Book didn't come out for another year after that. So we were encouraging people to just take whatever system you're playing, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. There was no 4th or 5th in those days. And just use the monsters from that system and you should be good. Now, that's exactly what we did at the table. If you ever played any BX, etc. series of modules, those are Mystera. So this is D&D stuff, Davis. Isle of Dread.
Yeah.
Keep on the Borderlands.
Now.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we actually played it, Kent.
Oh yeah, long time ago.
We played in Mystera. Yes, a long.
Wow.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about this. Yes, the Savage Coast.
Oh, holy shit. So that's going to be 1979, probably 1980.
Okay.
But
I think whatever Savage Coast was. But the expert set, not the blue box, the first blue box that I got was the basic set. Remember that with the blue cover?
Yeah, it's got,
You had it.
yeah, I think it's got an Errol Otis on it. I think Errol Otis is on the front cover.
Yes, the dragon, blue cover, blue box, something like that. You have it.
Yeah.
But there was the expert set that came out in 1981. And we had just moved to Germany, and for whatever reason, it was at the Four Seasons.
Oh, interesting.
They carried Conan, Saboteur to Conan for Four Seasons too.
Oh, that was a good shot.
Yeah, it was first published in that, so we played in it for a while.
See, I don't remember what you did, because you used the little, you started with the little brown books that you got back in 76 or whatever. So I don't remember, someone asked me the other day about rolling my first character. I'm not even sure I rolled my first character. You may have rolled my characters for me. And I don't remember you explaining the game to me. We just started playing.
No. Okay. If you recall, I can tell you the genesis of the whole thing. Because those brown boxes sat around for a long time before any of us looked at them.
Yeah, I didn't ever look at it.
Because remember, we were playing actual war games with kids.
Yeah.
And then I got the Lord of the Rings war game from SPI.
Badass war game.
First printing of it. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. Love that war game.
It's a great war game.
Yeah.
And then you had with that all the little characters, like the 9 Nazgul, the 4
All that,
Hobbits,
yep.
blah, 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 blah. And each one of them had, like, hit points or whatever it was. I can't remember.
Yeah.
We actually converted that game into a role-playing game prior to even playing Dungeons & Dragons.
Oh, really?
I would hand you the cards and say, you're playing Frodo and these 4 guys, and I'm just going to, move around with the Nazgul and try to fight you. I can't recall what prompted me to actually pick up the books from the brown box set and actually read them. I don't remember what it was that prompted me. But then I read them, and then, within days, we were playing. Within days, once I, watched the whole thing, I was like, oh, wow, this is, freaking the best thing on earth.
I do remember the first, because I had, 7 characters or 5 characters, and I remember you asked me to name them. I can't remember if you had me roll those characters or if you gave them to me. But I remember, because I was reading Tarzan books in those days, the first character I ever played's name was Tarzan, and the second was Korak, son of Tarzan. So I named them all, and then off of the apes from Tarzan's ape tribe in the books. That I remember, but I don't remember, and I do remember when the Player's Handbook came out. We'd been playing for a while, a year or 2 or whatever, and I remember that.
Yeah, we've been playing for a while.
Yeah, when the AD&D Player's Handbook came out, we were in Zane's room, and I remember this. So Zane's our oldest brother, And I remember you came walking in so excited about the player's handbook, and you said, "This is player's handbook," and you gave it to me, and you said, "Kent, you need to read this." And I remember like it was yesterday. I guess I'm not reading that. And I threw it back on the bed. So I started not reading rules in the very beginning, and still don't read rules to this day. So.
And I read the player's handbook and the D&D.
Yep. You had it all down.
And I used every single rule they had in that book that I could find.
You did, and I remember it. And I remember when you would throw some stuff out. Yeah, I mean, you were into it, and I was into it. I loved it, but I didn't want to read anything. You just told me, "Here's your characters." Now, at some point, I had to have started making my own characters. I know I did that, but and then we gamed, and I mostly died. So. You know, what is Sieglinder says, "I came here to lead, not to read." Exactly. That was my whole thing. Well, Davis knew the rules. I didn't need, even on the war games, I never read those, because we played, Vikings, my favorite. That was one of the best war games. Guns of August, Third Reich, all those. I never read those rules. Davis would just tell me how to play, and then we'd play. That's just the way it worked.
Oddly, I kept winning.
You did win a disproportionate number of times. There is no doubt. Grindelwolf says. I do remember playing Guns of August and irritating Zane because he didn't defend. He was playing Germany and he didn't defend the Marsurial marshes up there in Pomerania. You remember that?
Yes, that little bitty strip of land.
Yes. And probably he was so mad when I flanked him. He was so mad. That was funny. So you're saying never read the rules? Yeah. Epi, I don't read rules. It's exhausting. Even now, if a question comes up, I make someone else at the table read them. I immediately blank out. It's exhausting. Roll and shout. There you go. Pat66 says, "Just roll and shout. Ignore the results of the roll." That's role playing, baby. The only way to do it. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting how far back that goes. Now, even a beautiful rules book like the PHB 8, I don't know. But so the PHB 8, for those who don't know, just the Castles and Crusades Player's Handbook 8th printing just released yesterday. We've been shipping them out like crazy. And one of the changes, it's a major change that we did in this book. We went from just black blocks of text of information, and we highlighted, whatever. The text that is very pertinent, like area of effect and range, is highlighted in orange. What I love about that the most is I don't have to read anything now. I can just go right to the highlighted text and move on. I don't have to think about it. It's wonderful. Really, we're just eventually, Davis, we're going to do what you want and change the Player's Handbook to 14 font. And we're going to do what I want, drop like 95% of the text. So it just says like 4 words a page or something. And have some cool art.
That's like I was looking at the book, I was like, if I wanted to shrink this book, how would I shrink it?
Spells.
And I would sit there going like, wow, I can shrink it a lot. Because you only need like one rule.
Yeah, well, and what Mac has wanted to do for a long time is take those spells and gut them. So each spell is like 1 or 2 sentences. And the CK and the players can figure it out from there, whatever questions they have. What? Can the create water go into the lungs or not? That's up to the CK. Like King Kothar said, give it a high challenge level and move the hell on. And it's an interesting concept. It really is.
That's actually not a bad idea.
No.
Give it a high challenge level. I mean, it's just difficult.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It once again shows the crazy value of the Siege Engine because it can be used anywhere. Almost.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good. I actually thought about that.
It's interesting. I like it. But now Omo just said, "Good luck on astral projection being 2 sentences," and also polymorph is. Some of those spells are pretty damn complicated.
No. You can make it with astral projections like I don't know. I don't even know what it is.
There you go. Highlighted while lit. There you go, Pat. That's what we need. Let's see. What do we got? Got the Deity Book. I'm glad you received that. Very good, Canadian Ancient Gamer. That's why I love adapting any setting to Warhammer Fantasies. We're probably to be excused by chaos. There you go. Chaos is a beautiful thing. The one-page PHB, do what you want. There you go. Mastro Joe, and comment to your trying to get into Europe. It should be going through distribution now. It was released into distribution now, and we're going to push hard to get that over there so everybody can scoop it up. And if not, I know, one, the shipping is messed up for Europe. Troller Games gets a very deep discount for overseas shipping. However, that's not reflected in the shipping module when you jump on and buy something. So we end up having to do refunds to people who order stuff, and we can't even figure out how to do a discount on it because we don't know what you're going to buy. It's a big disaster. So we can get not great, but decent shipping rates, but only after the fact. So it's very, very frustrating on our end.
Okay, so all right, so if you plan to order something, if you're overseas and you plan to order something, email Steve first.
Yeah.
I can't hear you again.
Yeah, email orders@troller.com might be your best bet.
Okay, but specifically email Tim or whoever.
Yeah.
To let us know that it's going overseas. And what we can try to do, I've wanted to try this for a long time, is put the stuff up on eBay that you want to order and just have it one set, your order, and then we ship it through eBay. Now, we lose a little bit because eBay's become a ridiculous percentage of taking things. But what they have is an international order system. It's way cheaper for books through FedEx or the mail system.
Well,
Way cheaper.
Somewhere 1,000 years ago, I set up an eBay store. So TLG has an eBay store. So maybe we need to dive back into that and see if it...
Yeah, now it's only useful for like overseas orders because eBay takes such a huge chunk anymore.
Well, we just have to look at it. I mean, it's not... it would have to be like 50% to make it, not worth it. So...
It's no big deal. Anyway, it's another option out there.
Right.
But if you're ordering from overseas, I'll do that. I've got an eBay store. I think it's still active. I don't know.
But now, Mastro Joe, there is no way unless you order it direct that you'll have it by Christmas. If you're waiting for it to arrive in stores, it'll be. I mean, if we shipped it priority, you might get it. My daughter's living in England right now, and we shipped her. It was supposed to take 6 days to get the package. It took about 25 days to get over there. But if we got something out this week, you might get it by Christmas. There's a decent chance. But through the distribution market, it'll be January, February before it begins landing because it's got to go. It's already been solicited, which means orders will be in, and then it has to go to not the holding tank. What is that? What is that called? The freight forwarder. It has to go to freight forwarder. Yeah, I think that's where drugs go. But it goes to the freight forwarder, and it'll sit until the freight's full, and then off it goes. And as we all know, the freight system on planet Earth is in this gigantic, convoluted mess of God knows what. So, yeah. There you go.
Advanced Castlevania Crusade.
Do what?
Almost has an advanced Castlevania Crusade.
There you go. Too bad there isn't an affiliate POD services overseas. We have looked into that. My biggest problem on that is making sure it's quality. But if it's a decent book, we need to do something. Amazon probably has some kind of fulfillment overseas. See, there you go. See, everybody's jumping on board this short spell description. So, Mac, if you're still listening, give us some short spell descriptions because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And King Kothar rewrote both spells, short, in less than 2 sentences, actually. Thank you for the subscription, Grindelwolf. Very much appreciated. No spells magic is by rolls, and player explains a spell, and the CK rolls for success. I like that, actually. Just make shit up and go. That's the way to do it. We'll go to a holding tank if it means CNC books are available. There you go. Everybody to the drunk tank.
Hey, that's actually a good question.
How did Omo get timed out? Omo got timed out from the stream. What's up with that? That's crazy.
On polymorph, do you gain their abilities, natural, magical, etc.? Their hit points and stuff like that.
It's explained in the spell. That much I know. That I don't, but I can't answer it authoritatively. I know it's explained that both of those spells, polymorph other and polymorph self, are like a column long. They're huge, and I remember Mac grumbling and cussing about him when he wrote them, because Mac did the spell section for the player's handbook. So I remember him quite irritated, trying to cover all the all the bases in that crazy spell. Let's see,
you can't really do it. I don't think
it's hard. All right, so Young Flex Bar asks, do you have a favorite mechanic, class, or race from the supplement books? I think you already kind of picked yours, Davis, was the
Oathsworn's favorite.
The Oathsworn. I got to go with the Scald. I love the Scald. It's a warrior bard. It takes the bard out of its normal, whatever, playing the guitar. The bard always pictures Fabio from the old romance novels playing a guitar. It just drives me crazy. So the Scald, if you look at the picture, it's actually based on this Celtic band of drummers. I can't remember the name of them. There's 4 of them, and the lead drummer. You know what I'm talking about? That lead drummer looks crazy with his long hair and long beard. He's really muscular and thin. So the Scald is kind of based on that. So I absolutely love the Scald. And as a mechanic, there's really only one in Castles and Crusades. There's obviously tons and tons and tons of abilities that characters, classes have, and races have. But I gotta go with the Siege Engine. I was reluctant to do it after we released Castles and Crusades. I was running AD&D at the time, and we continued to play AD&D for about 6 or 8 months or something. And we were already in print until Davis and Mac said, we're not playing AD&D anymore until you play C&C at least once, so you can see how it plays. So we switched, and I never looked back. It took me about 4 games to figure the Siege Engine out, to kind of get what it could do. It's how versatile it was, and it serves every purpose constantly. Yes, that's the band, Willie the Rat, Clanadonia. So check out Clanadonia. That guy's the Scald right there. Well, do you have a favorite mechanic? Davis is really only the one.
Actually, it sort of depends on what you think of a mechanic. I like the fact that and I'd like to change it more, that we have arrows that do different amounts of damage. Because what do they have, like, from that one ship that they found from the 14th century? That's like 12 different types of arrows. They don't even know what one of the arrows was for. They can't figure out what
Dude, it was Green Arrow's stuff. Or Hawkeye.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's really some crazy arrows they had back then.
The only thing I thought of when you said 14th century ship was that diver who found all that gold on that Spanish ship, and he won't tell anyone where it is, and he's in prison. He's in prison because of salvage something, or but he's just waiting to get out of prison so he can go get his gold. He's gonna be real happy now.
If they ever let him out. Who has him in prison?
I can't remember. I honestly can't. I think it's the Americans. I can't remember. It just pops up in the news about once every 3 years. I read about it. But he had a contract and he violated it. So I can't remember. It's a big mess. It's just he's a salvage guy. It's just I don't know. I can't remember. All right. So Omod has a question. Sorry, I mean to say, can't you just sell TLG books on Amazon.us and let them figure out the international shipping aspect? I've been buying Yule presents from Amazon. Yes, we can. You can find almost everything that TLG does on Amazon, and you can definitely order it, and Amazon will ship it. The hang up right now with us and Amazon, we've had what's called an Amazon Advantage program forever, since 2001. Mac actually set that up when he was CEO of the company, and it's still cooking right along. But Flat River Group, who has taken over our distribution, is our consolidator now, does a lot through Amazon. So they've kind of been sucking the wind out of our Amazon Advantage program, and it's in this kind of nebulous zone. I put it into both, but it goes here, it goes there, and I don't have as good a control over it as I did just 6 months ago. So the Amazon's gotten a little bit a little bit goofy for us. And honestly, I don't know if the shipping's any better, but definitely if you're overseas and you're ordering TLG stuff, get onto Amazon and try to order it there. And we've also looked into uploading this stuff on like Amazon, the Germany one. There's Amazons for all these countries, just to see if it can get easier, because it's challenging. In Australia right now, of course, the post office put a moratorium on all packaging except Air Express. I think it has to go, and the Air Express for Australia is crazy expensive. It's $60 for one book, $66. It's absolutely nuts. So it's been a challenge. It's definitely been a challenge. And you know what's weird, Davis, and you may remember this, when we started TLG, you could ship, there was a media rate. No, it was an international parcel rate, not media, parcel rate to Canada, and it would cost about $1 more than it would media rate here in the United States. And even shipping to England, Poland, it was cheap. I mean, it was nothing, and now it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know when it got insane, but now it's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. I can't remember what I mailed the other day.
Oh, it's crazy.
An iPhone, I had to send it just to Connecticut. And with insurance and shipping and 2-day air,
yeah,
it was $60.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely nuts. The media is still really reasonable. I encourage anyone, if you're in the United States and you order from the controller, just choose the media option. We normally ship within 24 hours. If you order over the weekend, it'll go out on Monday, absolute latest on Tuesday. So you'll get it within a week, but it'll save you a decent amount of money. And I say that, but the post office, they just announced they're doing postage increases on the 26th of December. But they do, the priority is creeping, the media is creeping close up to the 3-day priority. So it's I don't know why they're doing it. They're trying to get standard packaging so that they can fit them in the boxes and fit in the carts and then into the trucks and all. I get what the post office is doing. They're trying to streamline stuff. But it's crazy. That's just crazy.
Yeah, they're not doing a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, Maestro Joe, you guys are awesome, but in Rome it's 12:30 and I have to go to sleep, waking up early tomorrow. Well, that's it. That's our call, Maestro. We're gonna head out. Thanks for joining us. And if I'm ever in Rome, I'm gonna look you up. But absolutely, thanks for coming out. Thanks everybody for jumping on board tonight. It was a great another stream.
It's almost my bedtime.
Yes, it is. You go to bed at about 6 to 7. So good night, Maestro. Good night, everybody. We're gonna sign off here in just a second. Absolutely, CNC for life. Omut, we love you, man. And there's a ton of players' handbooks shipping out. We did 50 today, and there'll be another 40 or so going out tomorrow. So it's a good day to be at Castles and crusading it. All right, well, that's it for us tonight. Thank you all. I'll be back 4:30 on Thursday for GM's Tricks of the Trade, and again next Tuesday at 4:30 again. Blah 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 blah. And if we can wrangle Davis in, we'll get him in. Again, it's catching him before he goes to sleep is the key there. So he gets up at 2 a.m. So he goes.
At 4 o'clock, I'm anxious to go to bed.
Yeah, and you're way past that. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a great evening and great rest of your week.